Hi, this is Taylor Vanderhelm, designer with the Editor Extensions team. Here's a quick status update on the Revisit Dual Context menu for IDE issue. For some quick background, this was initially sparked through the IDE first design exploration for making Duo Chat feel a little bit more native to the IDE rather than using only web patterns. If you want more details on this, there's a walkthrough video as well as the individual explorations available through a link. From there, I created a prototype that was then used to test with usertesting.com participants as well as internal. This went through several phases of internal feedback and a design critique, and that led us to iteration 3, which I will describe in a moment here. All right, here we are with the prototype. As mentioned, this is an Astro project deployed on GitLab pages, so the link is publicly available. You can find it in the video description or the issue, and you can try it out yourself. So you can change between iterations to see what each one looks like. I'm not going to go through the first iteration. You can find a walkthrough video and a summary of the feedback there. Those learnings were then applied to iteration 2, and this is what was shown during product hours with engineers as well as the design critique. One of the main differences is it removed the search filter but still allowed users to filter. So you can see as I'm typing, it's filtering, but there's just no input there. The idea being that was it really necessary, because a lot of the feedback was there's a little bit of friction between moving it from the search filter focus down to the menu items. So with the third iteration, tweaked it slightly and came up with a bit of an unconventional pattern, but it works really nicely in the IDE. So the cursor is always present in the search filter, but the focus is on the top menu item. The idea being it takes less effort when using the keyboard to have to shift focus from search input down to the actual menu items. I can just immediately start using my keyboard, make a selection, and go in here. So that's one. The other difference is at any time I can just start typing to filter. So if I'm at the parent level, the top level of the menu, it will be like a global fuzzy search, and it can go through here and start finding issues that I can select. Or if I were to say go into the menu, it will only filter within this category. So you can see I'm filtering. I can make a selection. I can navigate with my keys, make a second selection. I can toggle it, all using enter. Another change was before we were using a special shortcut to go back. Instead, we simplified it. If you just delete your search filter, once that input is empty, if you press backspace, it will immediately go back. One of the main benefits of this is, say I'm in a nested category. Now I have the option to immediately press escape and close the menu, or I can navigate backwards. This just gives a little bit more flexibility when using that keyboard rather than having to press escape to go back twice and then close it. Another takeaway was, say I'm typing inline and I want to refer to a specific context source, is I type plus, that launches the menu. In this case, you cannot select multiple items. You would select one. So the assumption is, say I select one, I'm referring to it using natural language. It still appears in the standard references, but it also appears inline so that I can structure my prompt in a more natural way. Say I decide, okay, I want to delete it. I can still delete it again using just my keyboard. I just press backspace, remove it, just like that. So check it out. Let me know what you think. Thanks. One other area I wanted to draw attention to, if you navigate down on the issue to the design section, you can see the ideal UI state that we want. So this is using the North Star design language. So this mocks out the different scenarios. Please use this as your source of truth instead of the prototype when it comes to the visuals. As you can see, here's an example of inline tokens as well, and search filtering. Now for next steps, because there are multiple teams working on Duo Workflow, Agentic Chat, as well as the Editor Extensions team, and this issue is a little bit too large to be picked up by an engineer in one go, I have broken this up into individually scoped issues that can be prioritized by the PM as well as picked up by individual engineers. So because there's multiple teams, I've ranked them by risk level. So low risk level, and some risk needs some alignment with some of the other teams before we go ahead with them. But for the most part, this has all been validated and tested and is pretty safe. You can also refer to the Agentic AI in the IDE wiki plan. So the issue will appear under UX improvements, And you can see it appears right, near the bottom here. And yeah, feel free to add any feedback. If you have feedback on individual issues, it's probably best to add that feedback in the specific issue rather than this parent issue, because that will allow the engineer who picks up the issue to see that feedback and have that history rather than having to dig back into this broader scope issue. So thank you for watching. Looking forward to any feedback. Thanks.